Doesn't seem to be anyone on. I'm watching the stream, so it'll be like one of the viewers. You get above 5. Uh, mhm. Wow. Do you usually stream like you have Muslims come up to the stream? Baker. Oh my god.
You can just see this one screen, right? Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, let me just go on my own stream as well. Hello, everyone. Just give it a minute, maybe. We got one person in the audience. Hello, Sultan. Welcome.
Sultan Abdul Hamid.
We've got 4 on YouTube and we've got 1 in the Discord as well. So, I mean, I can guess we can get going. Do you want to get going?
Sure.
No. Okay. So, welcome, guys, everybody on YouTube and Discord. Yes. So, today's video is going to be on Ibn Taymiyyah. Why is this relevant to Islam? Because Ibn Taymiyyah is considered Shaykh al-Islam, the Shaykh of Islam. I mean, this guy, he's a big deal, especially to Salafis. And, you know, when you read this guy, you expect him to be this massive Shaykh. This guy, he should be, you know, the king of Islam. So let's see how the Ummah treats him. This is the Kufr and Shirk of Ibn Taymiyyah by Majlis al-Ulama. And he says that Ibn Taymiyyah, when he started to dabble in Greek philosophy, he lost the path of Islam. Oh no. You know, when Muslims, they start to think, you know, possibly Allah, he's not real or stuff like that, normally they start having doubts. And the Muslims, they call this the waswas from the shaitan. And so what did he start to think? He started to think that temporal things, things which come into existence from non-existence, have no beginning. Why is this a problem? Muslims, they pride themselves on Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. There is only one creator who has no beginning. You know, it's famous, you know, Surah Ikhlas, even though the word is Ahad, that they say that Allah, he is one. But Ibn Taymiyyah, he started to think that Allah, he's maybe not one. He's maybe 2 with the universe as well, because the universe has no beginning. And we're going to see what he actually said, because it's not exactly as simple as that. But he does say something, and a lot of things, which are contradictory to the Muslim belief. What else does this guy, Mujlisul, say? He says that Taymiyyah has kufr beliefs. If we continue, the same thing again. He says that the universe is eternal, having neither a beginning nor an ending. This is the attribute of only Allah. So why is this a problem as well? Ibn Taymiyyah, he started to lie. And we're going to show you his lies through all of his Arabic book, all of these Majwa Fatwa, all. So don't worry, guys. But what does he say about Salafis? Salafis are notorious for their taqiyya. So when Muslim Sunnis, they say, we don't have taqiyya, this is a Shia trait, this is not a Muslim Sunni trait. What is this? This is taqiyya as well. So it's taqiyya on taqiyya on taqiyya on taqiyya. Brother Ezra,
Yes.
any chime-ins?
No. You should continue.
Continue, yeah? I mean, this part is pretty easy. This is just basically them. They are saying that the universe can't be eternal in Islam. But we will go through all of the problems now. What happens? So, yeah. Let me just load my YouTube on my phone. I can't see the chat. Sorry if anybody has typed. Hello, Dirty Sanchez. Okay. By the way, do people type in the Discord, like, in the side chat? Is that what happens?
I think on the stage side channel.
Yeah.
No one's typing anything right now. So.
Okay. Was that clear, guys? So this is the view, of a lot of Islamic scholars nowadays. They completely disregard Ibn Taymiyyah, even though he's considered Shaykh al-Islam. Hello, calculator. I will answer in a bit, okay? So, I am in my 20s, by the way. This is Shah Hadith al-Nuzul. This is the book, guys. By who? By Shaykh of Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. Now, I'm going to get Brother Ezra to chime in a lot on these things because, sometimes you need somebody a bit more clever than yourself to describe these perfectly. Basically, what we have here, Ibn Taymiyyah is speaking about this hadith. Our Lord, the Blessed Superior, comes every night down on the nearest heaven to us, when the last third of the night remains, saying, is there anyone to invoke me so that I may respond to a invocation? What are the problems here? Now, as Christians, we all know the objection to Christianity. Allah, he cannot enter his creation. Taqiyya, lie. Here we have Allah descending from his. So here we have, I will show you now the verses in the Quran. Allah, he descends into the creation because Allah, he says, he is the one who created everything in the earth for you. Then he turned towards the heavens. So the heavens are created. What does Ibn Taymiyyah say about this? He says that it is true. Our Lord descends every night to the lowest heaven when the last third of the night remains. This is not a lie, and he also doubles it down by saying it is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari, which it is true. So, Ezra. Oh. I left the stage. Sorry. Hello?
Oh, I come back.
I don't know what happened. I'm kicked from my stage. Hello. So, sorry, which part did you miss, guys? Did you miss that all?
Yeah, I think we missed the one that you were trying to address. About like Allah descending.
Okay, so, but you got the hadith, right? I read the hadith, you got that? Or no?
No.
Oh.
Stage crashed.
Okay, wait. Sorry, guys, on YouTube. I will just repeat myself quickly. Basically, what Ibn Taymiyyah he is saying is that our Lord descends every night to the lowest heaven. This is a fact. So in Sahih al-Bukhari, where it says that our Lord, the Blessed, the Superior, comes every night down on the nearest heaven to us, this is not some sort of fabrication, this is true. And he doubles down by saying it is recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari. Why is this a problem, Ezra?
Well, I think the obvious problem is from the Christian maybe perspective, or anyone here who understands what classical theism is, anything that moves is a body, and anything that's in motion is undergoing actualization of potential. So there's some sort of an efficient cause upon the object so that the object moves. So to say that their God descends the third of the night is to say in basic English that he moves downwards. So his potential is being actualized by something for him to move down, pretty much.
Basically, guys, God, he has an actual form. His form is perfect in the beginning. So, for him to have potential, for him to have potency, he will change that form. And this is the problem that Muslims, they say, Christians, we have. How can Allah, he be in the form of the world or in a created place? Well, actually, your Allah, he is within the created heavens. And he descends and he moves every night down. So we will get into where Ibn Taymiyyah now, he comes and he messes this up and he contradicts himself. So now we will go on to what Ibn Taymiyyah he says. This is page number 5. And he says that Allah describes himself through such actions. He has also described himself through speech, both intransitive and transitive, in instances such as, and when your Lord said to the angels, and Allah spoke directly to Moses, and their Lord called out to them. So, this is just saying the exact same problem that we just stated, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, so far, Allah, he is able to be within creation. He is being able to be within the created objects of the heavens. And this is the exact problem that Ibn Taymiyyah he'll bring up. And he will mess this up by saying that there is nothing that can descend and ascend except in a composite body. And we're going to get onto that now. So, this is page number 12. And he will say, if an inquiry asks you, how does he descend? Or how does he ascend? So now he's trying to answer the objection. How can Allah move? How can Allah go up and go down? How is this possible? Can Ibn Taymiyyah answer it? Can Ibn Taymiyyah answer even one objection through this whole video we're going to show you? No. So, how does he answer? He answers with a question. Or how does he know, or how does he speak, decree, and create? Then say to him, what is he like in himself? If he replies, I do not know the modality of his essence, then say to him, and I do not know the modality of his attributes. So what's he saying? He's saying, if somebody asks you this question, how does he descend or ascend? Reply to him, I don't know the modality of his attributes. This is Shaykh al-Islam.
Funny thing I want to mention is that motion is never regarded as something essential, even in like basic Aristotelian philosophy, like the four causes. Motion is based off of like the efficient cause causing the object, but it does not define what the thing is. Because usually an essence is what a thing is. Motion is not essential. It would be some sort of an accidental thing to the object itself. Funny enough.
Yeah, and later we're going to use something that will completely destroy that, right? From his perspective. So, again, this is Taymiyyah, he's failing to address the problem. For example, again, he's given an example. If someone says descent and ascension and other attributes of bodies, then it is inconceivable that descent and ascension could occur except in a composite body. So exactly what we've been saying, how can Allah move up and down through the heavens? How can he change? How can he have potency? Ibn Taymiyyah is saying that nobody can do these things except with a composite body, and God doesn't have those things. So how does he do it? Taymiyyah fails to answer the question again. Anything on that?
Yeah, it's funny how they claim that God is the necessary being, yet they literally just concede to the fact that he's composite, he has accidents, he has motion. It's pretty bad.
Somebody is saying in the chat, because I don't see the Arabic. What do you mean? Can you see that this? Do you mean the screen is not clear, or what do you mean? I need. You can't see the context. I mean, these are full context. I mean, I'm giving you Ibn Taymiyyah what he's written on the pages. I've given you the book and I've given you the page numbers. You can see the page numbers here. This is 24, right? So what I'm giving you is what Ibn Taymiyyah he's saying. I mean, if I wanted to read the whole book on stream, maybe I'm going to be here until my hair goes grey. What I'm giving you Shah Hadith al-Nuzul. This is what Ibn Taymiyyah is saying. This is here. And also, not just I'm saying that he's saying these things. Your own Muslim scholars, they're calling him mushrik and kufr. So if you don't want to listen to me because I am kufr, I am najis, I am all of these things, then go and listen to your own scholars because they will say the exact same thing. We are not lying about the translation. We are not deceiving you. We are translating exactly what the Arabic says. I hope that clears that up. The response to this, again, I mean, he's just going to say the same sort of nonsense he always says. So the response to this, will, hearing, sight, knowledge, and power are likewise attributes of bodies. So do you see how he's saying that attributes of Allah here is potency, to have potential? And we will get onto that later. But the answer that he's saying is his hearing is not like our hearing, his sight is not like our sight, his knowledge, blah, blah. Just cop out answers again and again and again. Do you see? So Ibn Taymiyyah, he fails to address.
You know what I want to say?
Mm-hmm.
What's funny about this is you could basically say this for any creative thing. For instance, the light or like the photons itself, they're not like the rest of creation. So they move at an extremely fast speed. There's no object in the universe that moves like except light, right? You could say light moves unlike any other object in the universe. That doesn't even address the fact that uh, it has some sort of metaphysical architecture, some sort of composition, which makes it like creation. Because apparently, what Ibn Taymiyyah is trying to say is, well, yeah, sure, architecture doesn't matter. It's just that the likeness, it just doesn't move the same way, or it doesn't hear the same way. That doesn't address the fact that their God is, composite and stuff. So.
Exactly. I think maybe we have somebody. Desto, are you saying that you want to translate? Is that what you're saying? Sorry, I don't understand. Okay, no problem. Anyways. Again, he's going to double down, Ibn Taymiyyah. he says nothing is conceivable as existing in the observable realm except as a body. The objection here is simple, guys. When we showed you before this hadith, our Lord comes down every night to the nearest heaven. The 7 heavens are created. Allah has to have a body. That's as simple as the argument gets, right?
Pretty simple.
Exactly. So, obviously now we have spoken about this. He is the one who created everything on earth for you. Then he turned towards the heavens, forming it in 7 heavens. And he has perfect knowledge of this. All of these are saying the same. Al-Tabari, if we go to his tafsir of chapter 2, verse number 29, he will cook it even more. He will say, actually, that one of the opinions is that Allah, he came down to create the earth, and then he reascended to the heavens to create them. So again, you have more motion. Again, you have more potentiality. And also, he is turning here. He is turning towards the heavens.
Well, you do need to have dimensions in order to turn, so...
Exactly.
And that is motion in itself, rotation.
Exactly. Even if he turned, he has motion. So, here we go. Now, we have a small contradiction here in the Quran. You know, as Allah, he challenges us to find contradictions. He is the one who created everything in earth for you. Then he turned towards the heaven, forming it into 7 heavens, and he has perfect knowledge of all things. And again, he says it here, that the earth is created first, and then he turns to the heavens and creates them. Then, if we go down, it says that first he created the heavens, he raised it in height, and he perfected it. And after, he spread the earth. He created the earth. So which one is it? Is it the heavens being created first? Or is it the earth being created first? That's just a small one. That has nothing to do with the topic. But I just thought, you know, why not throw that in? Okay. We'll move on. Ibn Taymiyyah, he carries on by saying, then let him accept as reasonable that he is above the throne and that he descends to the lowest heaven while the throne does not empty of him. Ezra, do you want to show the contradiction? I mean, I know we spoke about this just before.
It's kind of obvious. I don't think they say that the throne moves. I doubt they believe that in the mobile throne of Ezekiel. But it would be a contradiction because a thing that moves obviously has to leave the throne. But what is leaving the throne? Yet the thing that stays on the throne. I mean, it's not the same. There's probably two things there.
I mean, isn't the only way to combat this is by the throne moving with him?
I mean, yeah, but
I don't think that they would say that, right?
Yeah,
they wouldn't say that. But what we're saying is the only way for this. So look, what the Muslim here he's saying, what Ibn Taymiyyah here is saying. Allah, he does not leave the throne while descending from the throne down to the nearest heaven. So look, I'll have a photo for you. So Allah here, he is here, and he is on his throne. Okay? Now Allah, he has to come down to the nearest heaven. But by leaving the throne, Allah, somehow now, Allah, he is also on the throne while also being in the nearest heaven. So Allah now, he has to pick up his chair and he has to bring it down with him. Is like, that's the only way you could say it, right? So, yes. Now, what we will show you as well is another contradiction. I mean, I wish we had more of a like a diagram. I can't use it with diagrams with this PDF. However, what Muhammad he didn't realize is that the earth is not flat. And as the earth is round, there will be, at different points of time, different thirds of the night. Right? So because the earth is round, if the last third of the night is happening in Saudi Arabia, and the end of the third of the night is happening in, for example, Britain, Allah has to be in two places at once, descending from into Saudi Arabia and ascending from Britain. Does that make sense, guys?
Sounds like there's multiple beings.
And also, I think that this means that Muhammad, he didn't realize there is different time zones. But did I explain that okay, Ezra, or would you like to explain that better?
I think that's pretty obvious. It does sound like there's many gods there. One is descending, and there's ascending on one part of the globe. So
Yeah.
it's pretty problematic. But that's what happens when you reject that God is omnipresent. So
Did that make sense for everyone? Just to clarify, because that didn't, like, when I first heard that didn't make full sense to me, and then I got re-explained it and it made sense. Nobody is saying no, so I'm gonna take that as it's all fine. Okay, let's move on to the next book. By the way, Dread made that photo, right? Dread, this is credits to Dread. Or is this yours, Ezra?
no, I didn't.
Okay. Thank you, Dread, for your two armed shinned Allah. Anyways. The photos today, I don't know why they're making me laugh, so sorry.
Well,
Ibn
I mean, it's supposed to be literal, right?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
literal.
this is how the god he looks. So, I mean, when I first saw this photo just then, I mean, I had to control myself. So, yes. Anyways, this is Ibn Taymiyyah expounds on Islam by Ibn Taymiyyah, of course, and translated by Muhammad Abdul Haq Ansari. So, any translation here that is mistranslated, you can go and call Mr. Muhammad Qafar. You can go and attack him, not me, please. Okay. So here we go. Look at the contradiction Ibn Taymiyyah he makes. Again, if it is possible for God to have attributes, and what is possible for him is, in fact, necessary to him. Desto has a question, but let me just finish this. So, guys, before we started this live, Ezra, he made a simple example. If it was possible for Allah here to create this chair, Allah would be tied to the necessity to create that chair. Have I made that
Yeah,
clear?
I mean, if you pause, because they do posit that the act of creation is the attribute and the essence, as Prince Welsh as will show you earlier. I mean, later. It would be the case that everything that's created would be necessary. So there would be some sort of a modal collapse going on there.
Exactly. And just to have like a quick thought here, would this mean as well that Allah is somehow now dependent on creation because it's somehow necessary to him? Isn't there a little loop here? Allah, he's dependent on the things that are necessary? Does that make sense, or am I waffling?
Well, according to Islamic dogma, since they posit the sifat of Allah are really distinct, yet they define what God is, then they would be some sort of formal causes of God. So yes.
Also, Ibn Taymiyyah, he makes another mistake, and I have dug this here. I don't know. Wait, did I find this or did you find this? I can't remember. One of us found this. but his attributes are not the things he does, nor the objects he brings into being. They are part of his essence and necessary to him. So God now he's made of part?
Well, it seems to be.
So
I don't
according
think
to
anyone wants to
Ibn
say that there
Taymiyyah,
are parts.
yeah. And this is the problem that he gets. I mean, by being not a critical thinker, he collapses his own religion, right? And I think this is why he goes into kufr, because he's not too clever. So here we go. Creation is an attribute of God existing in his essence. Look, this is the bomb, guys. You need to think about this one. I'm going to get Ezra to describe this because this should destroy Islam. Creation is an act of the Creator, and the created world is its object. One is different from the other. Creation is an attribute of God which exists in his essence and comes into being by his power and will, by his will and power. So, can you make this make sense? Can you make this destroy Islam?
This is actually like the most hilarious find because as we know, anything that exists in the essence is necessary and it cannot be created. So it cannot originate. But it seems like Ibn Taymiyyah is saying that, well, the creation is an attribute that exists in the essence. Okay, so the attribute must be necessary, it cannot be uncreated. Yet, he also says that it comes into being by his will and power. So it sounds like that this attribute is also caused. It has an efficient cause. It comes into being. Right?
So,
There's actualization of potential.
so look.
And if that's the case,
So when you say,
God.
can you make that can you make that part a bit more clear? So when you say that an attribute, look, all attributes of God, they have to be uncreated because it's within his essence, correct?
Yes.
What
If you
you're
say
saying,
something in the essence, yes.
yeah. So everything in God's essence has to be uncreated, guys. Understand that. Now, what Ibn Taymiyyah here he's saying is that creation is an act of the creator that is created. So one of the essences, one of the attributes of God is created. That's it dumbed down, right?
Yep. By extension, the divine essence would be undergoing temporal change, and thus it will also be created.
Okay, did that make sense for everyone? Because that was one of the biggest finds. I hope that we
And
made.
actually, you could, principle, you could actually go up to the. You know how you mentioned in regards to anything that's in the essence God doesn't bring into being. No, just no. Go back. Go back. Go back. The
Down?
slide before the slide
This
that
one?
you just showed. Yeah, go down. Go down. So you see how it says, um, but his attributes are not things he does, nor
Yep.
objects he brings into being.
Uh-huh.
Notice this?
Yep,
Nor
yep, yep.
objects he brings into being. Yet, he says that the attribute of creation within the divine essence is brought into being. So now he's
Oh
contradicting himself.
my gosh. Guys, I'm so glad that Ezra's here. May everyone bless Ezra because that is a massive link. Do you see, guys? But his attributes are not things that he does, nor the objects he brings into being. So when he says that creation is an attribute of God, but God does this attribute, but he's saying that attributes are not the things that he does. Do you see, guys? Do you see why this was such a big
Ooh.
find? Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. Okay. God is not inside this world surrounded by different things. He is above the heavens on the throne and transcends the world completely. Nothing is like him in any respect, in essence, attributes, or acts. So I just had this here because, like I said earlier, I mean, this is a massive contradiction because he's saying that Allah literally descends. I mean, He's saying God is not inside the world surrounded by different things. He is above the heavens on the throne. But now somehow God, he literally, he descends. Our Lord descends every night to the
Well, he
lowest heaven.
must descend through the heavens,
Exactly.
right?
But he's also,
And the
he's
heavens
within the
must,
heaven.
yeah,
Like
the
even
heavens encompass him. It's in the
even if you
created order.
say like Allah, he transports to the lowest heaven, like he literally like teleports, he's still within the lowest heaven at the end. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense, guys? So Ibn Taymiyyah, I mean, I feel like he's got some type of maybe dementia or something, because he's writing one thing and then on the next page he's forgetting and completely contradicting it. So
You know what's also funny? In basic English, that which transcends means to go beyond limits. That which has limits necessarily has a boundary that encompasses it. So it would be a body. Now apparently he's saying that, well, God transcends. Oh, so now he's not a composite body. Now apparently he's omnipresent. Yet he denied that many times over.
exactly. So this is a quick one. I just put this in here because, you know, Muslims, they lie and they say that Tawheed, it just means oneness. Here, Ibn Taymiyyah, he's clearly saying that it means unification. So this was just a quick one. If anybody ever was in a debate, you can just screenshot this and say, you know, does Ibn Taymiyyah agree with you? And then you can pull that up and say, Ibn Taymiyyah says that it's unification. That was just for that purpose only. And also, this one was a quick one as well. So when Muslims, they come up to us and they say, you know, Jesus was a Muslim, or anybody's a Muslim who just believes there's one God. And, you know, the simplest one is to combat that would be anything around you. For example, there's a tree. You could say, well, if somebody believes that that tree is the one God, are they now a Muslim? They will say no, because you have to believe in Allah, that God. So you say, well, it's not as simple as that then, is it? Now, you can also use this. So no one who believes in this Tawheed alone is qualified even to be a Muslim. So the oneness of God alone is not enough for you to be considered yourself a Muslim. What distinguishes the believer from the non-believer is faith in the fundamental principle of Islam, faith in the unity of God and the prophethood of Muhammad. Okay, so that was just a quick rebuttal for anybody to help in your debates by yourself. And then, I mean, I had a conversation with a guy. He's very famous on this channel. He's called Baker. And Mr. Baker, he said that Ibn Taymiyyah doesn't agree with the satanic verses. So this is, again, going a bit away from all of the philosophical stuff. But in Majmu Fatwa, volume 10, page 291, Ibn Taymiyyah, he says that regarding the matter of God rectifying and abrogating what Satan had interjected, there are two views on this. The tradition handed down from the early generations, so this is the Salaf's opinion, aligns with the Quran in this regard. However, the later scholars who rejected this view. So the early Salaf, they all said that the satanic verses happened, and we will see on the next page, Ibn Taymiyyah agrees with the early Salaf. Then later scholars rejected this view, especially those are the exalted Quranic idols, and their intercession is hoped for. Okay, so what does Ibn Taymiyyah he say? As for those who decided on what was transmitted from the early Salaf Muslims, these is a firm chain of transmission that cannot be challenged. What did the early Salaf believe? They believed that the Satan had interjected into the Quran. So he says that this cannot be challenged, and the Quran indicates this by saying, we all know what the Quran says, that Satan, he puts verses onto Muhammad's tongue. And then he doubles down by saying that this is well established in the tafsir, which every tafsir pretty much accepts, before Ibn Taymiyyah's time, accepts that this story, the story of the Quranic. which is the exalted cranes, which is Muhammad committing shirk. He says that this is proven in the tafsir as well as the hadiths, which is found in Bukhari, and in the Quran, which is talking about 2252. So, was there anything you want to double down on, Ezra? Was there anything you don't think that I made clear and you want to double down on?
I think it was fine, but I think I also wanted to mention regarding the act of creation.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mention something about that. The
Which
It
which
also
page?
sounds like creation is within God.
Was that down here? Was that
Yeah,
here?
regarding the attribute of creation. No, a bit down, a bit down.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, fun fact. In order for a thing to, I mean, like according to basic Aristotelian philosophy, the act of creation would be like the motion within the subject. So to say that the act of creation is within the essence, yet the act of creation must also be within the creature, is to say that the creature also exists in the divine essence, and that the divine essence, along with the creature, is necessary. So the creature would be in God, and the creature would be necessary as well. It's a lot
Okay.
of
So are you
necessary
saying?
beings there.
So are you saying that in this case, what Ibn Taymiyyah is making it sound like is that creation is an attribute, but as well as being an attribute, it has to be its own creature, and that creature is within the Godhead, within the essence of God, therefore making there more than one God.
Yeah, because the act of creation must be within the creature that's being created. So, for example, like the heating up the water, the heating up the water exists within the water. So here would be the same. So the thing existing or being created, it exists within the creature. So that would mean that the creature exists within the divine essence.
Hmm. Does that make
Which is
sense,
very
guys?
crazy.
That makes sense to me. But did that make sense to everyone in the YouTube and the Discord? Was there anything else you wanted to touch on, Ezra?
I think no.
Was the one that
I
I said
think
about was the one that I said about the flat Earth clear, or did you want to touch on that again?
yeah, the flat Earth is a very interesting example, and I mean, according to their understanding of God, I guess you guys could pull it out a telescope and see him. But
Exactly.
I don't know. Modern day satellites never seen Allah, so oh
Yeah.
well.
But I hope that that made sense when I said about the world. So, for example, guys, if in Saudi Arabia there is the end of the third part of the night, so Allah has to ascend up back to the heaven. But in Britain, it's the beginning of the third part of the night, so Allah has to descend down to Britain to listen to the British people's prayers. Because the earth is round, Allah now has to be in two places, or descending and ascending both at once, which is a logical contradiction. Was that more clear?
You know what's also funny? I think you have to say that Allah also orbits the Earth. It kind
Yeah,
of sounds like that's what
yeah,
it is.
exactly.
It's like a planetary body.
So, guys, I hope that, we made these arguments clear and usable for you guys. But yeah, I mean, the biggest blow was definitely this one. So if you want to rewatch this part of the video, the creation is an act of the creator and the created world is its object. Creation is an attribute of God existing in his essence. I mean, that was the biggest blow, guys. So go and rewatch that part and learn that argument. Because that was made clear, I think. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
Sheikh
I
of
think that
Islam, by
was
the way.
clear.
So imagine the baby sheikhs. I mean, imagine your local sheikh. If this is the biggest sheikh of Islam, and he doesn't even know like how Allah descends and ascends, no wonder these people can't even defend the Islamic dilemma. can't even
It's
defend
more like
the age of Aisha.
when they try to make sense. It's like when they try to make sense of their theology, just contradicting constantly. But that's what happens when you uh, spit on philosophy and you spit on the philosophers and you just pretend like basic knowledge here shouldn't go for Allah. Well,
But also, Ezra, do you think that possibly the reason that these people can't understand philosophy, even Ibn Taymiyyah, which is coming, sort of, I think he was about 700 years after Muhammad, the reason might be because in, different parts of the world, you're able to question things and you're able to evolve and think and question your own beliefs. But if you question Islam, they will kill you. So there was never, ever any questioning of their faith. And maybe this gave them actually the fear of philosophy and shoved it away. Do you think that that could be why as well?
uh, the way their society is developed, so unlike the Western world where we emphasize science, critique, arguments, right? All of these things, that they don't really have that. Now they did during like the golden age of Islam, the Abbasid era, but I don't think modern Sunnis would regard this sect who constructed the whole golden age in Islam, the Mu'tazila, as Muslims. So technically,
I
they
mean,
don't really. When I interacted with them, when I constantly questioned like these questions right here, like what does it mean to descend or ascend? Aren't you implying that God is motion? Aren't you implying is a body? Or if the body's trajectory moves in motion, does that mean he has a thermodynamic transfer between his parts? Does that imply some sort of physical composition? They can't answer these questions. They're not fit for like all this Western thought, I guess. So yeah, that they basically teach you shouldn't question it. You should just affirm as it is, affirm the apparent, affirm the zahir. Just go on with it.
you let me just get the correct name. With preservation, because where is he? Yeah, that's right. So when Muhammad Hijab, he was talking with Yasir Qadi. Yasir Qadi said that the Muslims, they poke holes in the narrative of the preservation of the Quran, but they don't go super deep. They know when to stop. And he said that the people in the West, we've brought the Quran to the West, and the people of the West, they don't stop. They don't have that point of, oh, that don't go down that path. And what we have is we always ask questions. And even when they're admitting this, and this is the famous clip where he said that there are holes in the narrative of the preservation of the Quran. But I think that this could be another reason why. I mean, these people don't go too deep into their own theology. And when they do, I mean, they make a massive mess of it, like Ibn Taymiyyah. We've got a thing in the chat. When you can use the sword, why should you use words? Muslims' logic. Correct. Exactly. Anything else? Any other comments? Or questions? Anything? Anything need to be made clearer by me? Or Ezra? Anything? Or not, guys?
You guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. I was probably going to put them on you anyway. Any questions, guys, about what we've said today? Or because I think we did actually, to be fair, I mean, I've been asking questions myself, so maybe they would have already asked those questions. I mean, we got 6 people on YouTube and 6 people in Discord, so 12 altogether, which is good. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm happy with these numbers. Any
It
questions?
says that someone wishes to debate. Not sure if anyone's coming up to the stage to
I
debate.
haven't had any requests to join, to be honest. Like the whole time. I didn't have one person. I had one person that you can use him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he's so he's talking about essence and persons as well, and attributes. So I guess yeah, you can. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we went through the essence and attributes, and exactly in the same way, you can show the Trinity to Muslims exactly. But I mean, the problem that Muslims have is that they say, you know, how can God come into creation? But we just showed today how God comes into creation anyways. But I haven't, I mean, there'll be more knowledgeable people on that than me. But in time, God willing, I'll get there. Is that everything, guys? I'm ready to stop streaming on YouTube. There's no comments on